Hello all and welcome back to One Stop Flop Podcast, your one-stop shop for non-stop top. This is your favorite host of all time. Co-host, actually, because I do this show with not just me, but a special man.
Yes.
Special to my heart. I'm your favorite co-host of all time, Michael Jordan's little cousin, Brian.
Wow. We have some famous blood with us today.
Yeah, well, I mean, what can I say? I've done a lot with my life. Maybe not as much as Michael, but.
Yeah. And I'm your second favorite co-host, Slippery Steve.
Okay. Well,
why are you laughing at my name?
No, it's not you. I'm laughing at your fucking face.
Oh.
All right. Anyway,
it is kind of funny. I have to admit.
Anyway, we have something maybe a little interesting to start this podcast off with. On my way here, I killed a child. But anyway, we'll move on to the next topic.
Yeah, you're right.
Wall Street
Let's just
bets.
move on. Yeah.
You were telling me this before the show started. Reddit. You found this Reddit sort of like sub-genre called Wall Street bets.
There's so much stupid stuff on Reddit. It's kind of interesting. You stumble across a lot of interesting subreddits. And this one in particular, you have a lot of interesting... interesting group of people that like to...
I imagine all of them are just a bunch of like cock swingers.
They like to call each other autists.
Okay.
Autistic men.
And then it's like that same dude that called that one guy the autist just lost like 50 grand, whereas that guy made like $1 million.
Yeah, so all of their whole theory is that they use the stock market.
Okay.
They're all traders. All they do is they take their life savings.
Is any of them named Joe?
I think so.
Okay, good. That would have kept me up at night.
There might be a trader in there named Joe.
Okay, thank God. Like you were saying.
But yeah,
I had to make sure. I was a little afraid for my own well-being.
Just to clarify.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they take their whole life savings and they use the stock market as a way to basically gamble.
Okay.
They either win high or lose incredibly low.
So it's like a home run swing version of gambling in Vegas.
I would without the home run.
Okay, yeah, like the reverse of whatever the reverse of a home run home.
Whatever the 180
the run
is
home.
of that, yeah.
Yeah.
This is the strikeout or something.
Yeah.
I don't know baseball terminology.
Yeah. I mean, neither do I. America's pastime, baby.
Yeah, but it's crazy to think that some guy can put in $100,000 of whatever savings, whole life savings, and then just fucking waste it on one call,
one single bet,
and then it just goes down. They plummet and they lose all their money.
Yeah. They take it out on their wife and kids. They say, "You're the reason I made that bet." that and the autistic guy on the r/Wall Street bets for him.
What's funny is they all encourage each other to do so.
Yeah, and then they presume to call themselves autists afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That seems like the normal thing to do.
What's your take on that whole philosophy of doing that?
I think Wall Street betting has always been a thing, and I think a lot of people can have success in it, but where r/Wall Street bet seems to go wrong is that you don't do that online. You don't take advice from some random dude on the internet about what's gonna happen on the stock. For all you know, that dude has like $5 to his name. And he absolutely knows fuck all about
some
stocks.
dude in a broken down apartment just on the computer like, guys, this is the move right here.
Guys, I just found the new Tesla. It's called Shit Eater Inc.
Guys, this is the new Tesla, I swear to God.
The wave. Guy, bet on this, it's gonna blow up tomorrow, and then the whole stock just falls off altogether.
But it's funny, it's like I think they get encouraged to do so because some of them strike big.
Yeah,
like if some of them put 50,000, they might end up making.
I mean, when there's like hundreds of them a day doing that, I imagine one of them is gonna hit.
It's like you have little diamonds in the rough where you have someone that can make. I think there was someone that turned 100,000 into $1 million.
That's
the type of thing that you see that makes you think, okay, I'm willing to put everything on the line.
So then you see those retards who put like $10 in and now they're like 80 grand in the hole.
Those are the funny ones.
That's crazy.
I love the people that put the money in. It's like, guys, I just started trading. and then that's when they have those huge dips. It's like, oh my god, the S&P has never seen a dip this big in years.
In over 4,000 years. That's, oh gosh, that's, yeah, I don't know. My knowledge of that subreddit specifically isn't not very well versed, but ever since the blow up of the whole coronavirus S&P 500 thing, it went up. People seem to make lots of money or just come away with fuck all.
Yeah.
And it's almost like some of it seems common sense, where it's like, okay, your stock that you bought for like $100 is now worth like $4,000. Why don't you pull out, buddy? And he goes, well, wait a minute here.
Let's just wait and see.
You don't know that for sure.
Let's not rush to conclusions.
Yeah, and that almost, it's, I don't know, see, things that seem so common sense to me, it seems like that subreddit just loves to ignore. Like, it's like they're like, listen, the stock market's high right now, so let me just hold. Which is just so odd.
Yeah, everyone's too reactionary. If you see that your money takes a big dip, they're like, that's more something that you're not comfortable with, you're gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna pull out. Yeah, and then all of a sudden it shoots higher than it ever was.
Than fucking Jesus himself.
Those are the people that lose out big time.
Yeah, I mean, to me it seems a little. I would never go on r/Wall Street Bets and tell somebody to do something. But I have given people a couple of tips on like stocks and how they would perform every once in a while.
Yeah, you gave one of our friends advice about Amazon and Tesla before they became big.
Yeah, and I was originally going to buy myself a stock until 2 months after I told him to buy it. I was about to invest in it, and well, it went up $300, and I had bills to pay. So I got screwed there.
That's like the equivalent of saying I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for those meddling bills.
Those meddling stock markets. But it's not just that. It's been a couple. I did say that I didn't say this verbally, but I knew in my head, I was like, okay, Tesla's 300. This thing's gonna probably double, and it like quadrupled, like or 5 times, whatever 5 times is, and
it's quadruple.
Yeah, and those people made bank. And to this day, when I looked at Amazon stock and it was like $800 a share, I was like, this stock's gonna double in a year, and it did. And here I am. That was in 2017, and here I am, 2020, still looking at the stock, just effervesced. Like, I am pissed about it because I knew that it was gonna happen.
How much money do you think you would have made in that time?
Well, if I would have put my first share in, I definitely would have put at least one more.
Yeah.
So if, let's say, it would have taken me 3 months to put in another 1,000 because the stock would have climbed by then. So I would have 2 shares. So I probably would have made somewhere around like $3,000 or $4,000.
That's crazy.
Is like,
that's just money to.
Yeah, that's why I look at it and I get pissed, because it's like, I knew from the minute I saw it, I was like, that stock's going up. Like, it can only go up from here, because it was pre-release of Amazon Video.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, it makes sense, because it's like, up until then we had only had Netflix and Hulu, and Amazon was like, well, I'm such a huge company right now.
Why don't I put my foot in the game?
Yeah, and it's like, people are gonna respond, because it's like, it's freaking Amazon, of course. And I guess I didn't have that faith in myself to gamble on it.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm good.
Like, you didn't follow your gut. You're like, even though I think it's gonna go this way, I'm just gonna take the safe route and not.
That's why it's like, I've sort of, now in this day and age, I'm like, I'm gonna invest the moment I get the chance, because I can't, like, that's a lot of money down the drain.
Yeah.
That I'm losing out on.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is, I mean, it sucks, but that's just how Wall Street works. And it's funny. I've been wanting to talk about this on the podcast for a little while. Now that we're on the topic of Wall Street, money, finances. You got the money. I want to talk about The Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh,
my favorite movie of all time. And I feel
that's a good pick to have.
Yeah. I feel like it's a terrific movie, and I feel like it goes under the radar a lot. Like, I feel like when it released, it was a huge movie, but now people don't really look back and go, yeah, that was an amazing movie.
I don't think it's looked back as like one of the greats, but I think people when they look back, they think how Leo was snubbed for that Oscar.
Yeah, he was. He really, and then he
Who
went on to
won?
make that one like snow film.
Was that the year that Matthew McConaughey was in Dallas Buyers Club, and then
Was he? I don't remember.
I don't know.
keep up with Matthew
No,
McConaughey.
I think it was Daniel Day-Lewis playing Abraham Lincoln.
Okay.
It was what beat Leo out.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
That's ugly. Okay. I mean, because then he went on the next year to win it. And
yeah, it's like the next year after that.
Yeah,
it was
something
with
like
The
that.
Revenant.
And yeah, that's what it is, The Revenant. Which it's so dumb because his Wolf of Wall Street movie is so good and so easily rememberable.
Yeah,
Memorable.
memorable.
Yeah, whatever it is. And he went on to make The Revenant, and people
The
don't
Revenant.
even
The Revenant.
yeah, The Revenant. Whatever I don't give it. I don't know
It
words.
sounds like you're saying the Reverend,
Reverend.
like the priest,
Reverend.
the Reverend.
I did say the Reverend.
The Reverend. The Reverend. Sorry, just having a mild stroke today.
Okay. Now that I'm done having a stroke, he went on to make that movie, and nobody liked that movie, from what I remember.
I didn't even watch it. I really wanted to watch it, but I never watched it.
Because it's like it didn't look like a fucking good movie.
Well, so the director was Alejandro Iñárritu, which is a Mexican director.
okay.
But so they shot the whole thing in the woods, natural lighting,
yeah.
and everything like on location.
Okay.
And I think the method of the way he directed was how he kind of put the actors through shit to get like an honest reaction.
Yeah.
So I mean, like maybe it wasn't Leo's best performance, but I guess it was what the Oscar committee thought was the
best. Yeah,
in
but
their
I
eyes.
mean that's so it's like it's so weird that the world can feel one way unanimously about something, but then these quote unquote critics will say something completely different and go, well, we know more than 5 billion other people, which kind of doesn't. It's like, yeah, you're an expert on it, but at the same time, it's like, if that many people agree that he did better in one thing, why would you not?
I think it's because general audiences and critics are looking for different things.
I guess.
When you're just the general audience, you're just looking for a good time.
Yeah,
something
like
that strikes with you.
Yeah.
But critics are looking at like the fine details and like the little
Yeah.
things that no one really notices, which is like understandable. Which is why I don't think it's a good metric to use. Critic.
Yeah.
Like you can use like general like I don't know, see what critics like generally feel about it.
Yeah.
But don't listen to it as gospel because
Yeah.
a lot of the time they're not gonna, they're not gonna show what your taste is and like kind
For
of
sure.
interpret that.
For sure. I think. Yeah. I mean, speaking of.
But wait, I'm still on the topic of Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh yeah.
I think I watched that movie not when the year it came out, but like a few years after.
Yeah.
On Netflix when
Yeah.
it was on Netflix, and I was like, "This movie's
really good.
yeah." I thought it was
Yeah.
gonna be like some boring.
Yeah, I came into that same movie with the same mindset, and I was like, oh well, I like Leo. He's a good actor, and then
Yeah.
I left that movie feeling like, wow, Leo is such a good actor. Like he really deserved the Oscar that year, which is like crazy.
I think the scene for me that really like showed that for me was when the Quaalude scene,
The Quaalude, yeah.
where him
Yeah,
and Jonah
yeah.
Hill are just like, put down the phone.
That was definitely one of my favorite scenes, and I think that is the best scene of the movie. Like everybody agrees.
Yeah, because it's the best acted, and I
Yeah.
think it's the funniest.
Yeah, because it's just so lighthearted. And stupid.
It's funny and serious at the the time. Because
Yeah.
this man is fucked up on drugs.
Yeah.
It's hilariously crawling to his Lambo to try
Yeah. And then he wakes up the next morning and he's like, the fuck out of my house!
to.
Sir, you hit a bunch of things on your way home last night.
No, but that was honestly a surprise
Yeah.
movie for me.
Yeah.
I think like in the beginning when it was panning, telling his story, I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the scene that really showed me I'm gonna love this movie is when he started to blow cocaine up a hooker's ass.
yeah. Oh, the first 5 minutes of the
Yeah,
movie.
and that's when I was like, okay, we're in for a wild ride.
Yeah, the moment I saw that, I was like, oh, it's gonna be a crazy kind of movie, huh?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think think he definitely deserved to win the Oscar that year for that movie. And the craziest part about that movie is, other than the Titanic, no other movies can be that long and be that good. Like, up until, Avengers Endgame and Infinity War came out.
I think there's a few that are. In terms, like, There Will Be Blood is pretty long.
I've never even heard of that.
The oil movie?
Oil, yeah, I've never heard of it.
It's really good. There's another one. I mean, even the Lord of the Rings movies are like 2.5 hours.
I didn't know it was that long. Okay.
Yeah,
I thought they were
long.
like at least like 2:10 or something. Okay.
I think, yeah. But here's the question that I really want to ask. That I think this is the heated debate. Everyone that watches Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
We got to get this settled.
Okay. Yes, I would snort cocaine off a hooker's ass. Next question.
Okay, I mean, who wouldn't?
Okay, yeah. Next question.
That's like a Saturday night.
Of course.
But here's the question. Was Jonah Hill's penis real in that scene where he flopped out his erect cock? Was that real or was that prosthetic?
I thought it was at first, but I'm pretty sure it was a prosthetic.
Really?
Yeah, because it's like you look back on it, it does not look like there's just.
Is it because it's too big or too small?
No, it's just
the look of, like, the actual look.
You can tell the way it flops around. It's definitely not.
I thought it was supposed to be an erect. He wouldn't be erect in the movie. You're right.
Yeah,
I think it is a prosthetic.
It's definitely there's something unreal about that.
You just blew a hole in the whole conversation of.
Yeah. Obviously, the question that people were going to ask for years that I just solved was Jonah Hill's penis erect in that movie. Yeah.
The answer is no.
The answer
is definitely
100% no.
Definitely a prosthetic. I'm glad we could clear that because that's for our audience. The audience we have has been clamoring.
Viewers.
Yeah, they've been. I think that's less.
Yeah,
but they've been clamoring. Everyone just been typing in, emailing us saying, "Is Jonah Hill's penis in Wolf of Wall Street?"
I did get a couple emails, like death threats, like, "What the fuck? What is Jonah Hill's penis doing in that movie?" And I was like, "Listen, dude, I don't know who you are, and you need to stop emailing me." But yeah, I think we can finally seal that one in a nice, neat little bag
and just send it off.
Just send it off like one of those dying Vikings or dead Vikings.
Just the Viking funeral on the water. Exactly.
Jonah Hill's framed picture of Jonah Hill's penis on the.
Yes.
Would we put his real penis or would we put the prosthetic?
No, we put the prosthetic, the one that was represented.
Okay, the true Jonah Hill. Speaking
of
prosthetic penises,
yes,
I think we both had an interest in talking about this. So my penis.
I'm so curious as to what. Okay, that's like.
I mean, I figured we had mutual interest in Jonah Hill's penis, and now I transitioned into something that we both had.
I thought it was a mutual interest in prosthetic penises.
It's kind of like
slow down there, buddy.
It reminds me of a prosthetic penis, honestly.
Okay.
Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. It's a lot like a prosthetic penis, just useless.
It's hard, fake, and you just don't want to look at it.
Yeah, it's like, is it real? Is it not? I don't care, honestly.
So you're not excited about, even being like a Call of Duty fan?
Yeah.
You're not excited about this new one, huh?
So, I guess I should preface this with
let's lay the groundwork here. Let's set a tone.
Yeah. So it was May 22nd, 1996. I had just been born that day. No.
Just been born. I hope you didn't dox yourself with your real birthday.
No, but so I think I had started playing Black Ops, or no, it was COD, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I was trying to think if it was COD 4.
What year was this? Was this 2009?
I don't even remember the
year. Yeah, because 2007 was Modern Warfare. I think 2009 was Modern Warfare 2.
Okay.
So if you don't know, we're nerds back in the day. Yeah, we played video games.
Yeah. I was on my 600-pound life as a 10-year-old.
Yep.
And we were playing Call of Duty a lot. That was sort of something our generation did to pass the time. And, as kids, you want something to do.
I mean, I feel like in terms of the nerd scale, we're not the bottom. Like, I mean, we weren't playing StarCraft or any of that.
Yeah. We weren't nerds.
Those are like the programming engineering kids. We're like
because it started at a young age.
we're like
yeah.
the pretty like so
Yeah,
nerdy.
we were the beginning evolution of the hashtag MLG game.
Yeah, like we're on the cusp of like where cool guys can play COD,
Yeah.
but if you go anywhere like
Yeah.
deeper down the video game rabbit hole,
You start drinking Mountain Dew, that's when you can call yourself a weirdo.
and the Doritos mix.
Yeah, and Doritos. And I was definitely a child who ate Doritos while I gamed.
I have to. Yeah,
that was definitely a theme. But I started there, and that's where my love for Call of Duty grew. And I got Black Ops 1, so on and so forth, until I think it was about Black Ops 2 was my last Call of Duty game.
So that was funny. That's the same for me. I stopped at Black Ops 2 because I did not like where it was going. It didn't feel good.
I thought it was a good game. It wasn't like, whoa, this is a great Call of Duty game. It was like, it's good. Yeah,
I did not like it. It just did not feel fun for me.
I mean, I could see why. It felt a little faster pace.
It felt like I like, you know, when you're playing Infinite Warfare,
Yeah.
the later installment, and you're just flying like on walls and with futuristic guns. It's like I felt that's where they're going. I'm like, okay, I'm checking out.
Yeah. I mean, what's the fun in that? It's like when something's so fast paced, it's like, do you even have time to learn the game?
Yeah. And I'm just
and that's when we started recently playing COD 2020.
Yeah, so
COD 2019.
We went on a Call of Duty hiatus because the franchise was so terrible.
Yeah.
And then we came back with Modern Warfare because it looked good.
Yeah.
I like when you're looking at it, it's like, holy shit, it's like back to form, you know, or return to form.
I had doubts about it at first. I was like, I don't know, it doesn't look that great. And then I played and I was like, okay, well, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
And I felt like the thing that made it not so great was update after update. It felt like, where the hell are they going with this?
Yeah, it felt like there's no support.
Yeah.
It's just like they just threw the game out, and then the fans are like, we want this.
Yeah.
And then you just hear crickets like...
Yeah, and then they're like, oh, so you want us to buff and nerf this gun? Okay, here's a new map that you didn't ask for.
Here's a new map.
And it's like, okay, well...
There's always new maps. It's so funny.
Yeah. And then it's like you complain, and they go, well, we gave you Anya Incursion, so here we are. And I think that's where I fell out of love for the game, and that's why I have sort of a vendetta against Cold War, because I watched the trailer, and it looks almost exactly like COD 2019, but Black Ops version.
They're using the Modern Warfare engine.
Yeah.
But the key difference for me is that was it Infinity War that made Modern Warfare? And Sledgehammer? No, it was Infinity War and someone else.
Raven Games, I think.
Made Modern Warfare?
Yeah, Raven.
So Treyarch, I think, is coming back for Cold War.
Okay.
And that just shows, I feel like I have more faith in them.
Yeah. I mean, I do too, but at the same time, we're talking about the people that made the second COD Zombies.
Yeah.
So...
I mean,
or third, technically, in the timeline of games. Yeah. Because there was World at War Zombies.
See, World at War, Black Ops,
and
2.
then Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2 is the one I'm talking about. We're talking about the same company that made that.
You think that's bad? You should be playing Black Ops 4 or Black Ops 3 Zombies.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, I heard you did play it, and I don't know. I'm very opposed.
It's fun. It's just it's not the zombies that you expect. You know.
Yeah.
So in the zombies game, you're just 4 guys, guns, trying to defend against zombies.
Yeah. Go on. 4 guys,
shirtless, sweaty.
Okay. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Go on. No, don't let me interrupt.
But it's the more I think the more convoluted you make something, the worse off it is. Because you start to lose the essence of what a game is.
Yeah.
It starts like to get like a whole. Why are there dragons flying? Why is there a giant robot here? Why am I jumping through dimensions?
Were there robots and dragons?
Yeah. So you have a dragon map.
That's so odd.
You have a map where there's a giant. You can turn into a giant plant monster with whips.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what am I playing?
Yeah, take me back to the days when Danny Trejo was the boss.
Yeah, it's like, just give me a Mexican dude with a machete, and it's like, I'm gonna...
And some weird electrical powers like Whiplash from the Marvel Universe.
No, I think that was what's his name? George Romero.
Oh yeah, George Romero. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
the
yeah.
boss, and then you played as Danny Trejo.
Yeah, you played as Danny. That's
Anywho,
dude, that was a fucking good zombies game.
yeah.
That map.
All the Black Ops zombies.
A
maps
gem. They were a gem.
It's
They were
the creme de la creme.
The absolute peak of zombies. Ever
Yeah.
since then, it's like this slow incline or slow decline,
Yeah,
and it's very weird.
it's been bad,
But I want to know, what is it other than Treyarch that makes you feel like this might be a good
the
game?
setting.
Okay.
So you're not in the future. You don't have all this,
Modern day. It's modern day.
Yeah, it's
Somewhat.
no, it's in the 80s.
80s. I mean, yeah, it's somewhat modern.
It's
getting there.
They don't have like the drones or like the UAVs.
Yeah,
or like they have UAV, but I'm just talking about like any tactical things that you
Yeah.
see in modern day.
Yeah.
Like
or
it has more of like
futuristic
that Black Ops feel where it's like
Okay.
gritty and it's just a man with
But
a gun.
see, you see, my reservations with it is watching the way these players move. It gives me very COD 2019 vibes.
So you don't like the fact that people can like it's fast paced, like with sliding and jumping around, and
Did they have sliding in the trailer?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, the thing,
It'll
my
be
thing
in
was
there.
like, just I can tell by the way that they run with their guns that it almost hasn't changed at all from 2019 COD.
Yeah.
The way their movement holding the gun is and running and reloading, everything. I was like, well, that's just so it's too close to what 2019 was.
To me, I think the problem with the 2020 game wasn't the play style. I think it was mostly the maps and the balancing between different guns and
Yeah.
play styles.
Yeah.
I think
For 2019.
Yeah, for Modern Warfare.
Okay.
It just I feel like the game itself is fun. Like
Yeah.
when you play, it's like it's like the fast pace. You could play fast pace. You could play slower too.
Yeah. And then they brought Warzone, which added a whole new mess of shit, and that's what made it even more fun.
I'm
but,
just not a fan of battle royales.
I mean, yeah. I mean, for a little while, you loved Warzone.
Yeah, because it's fun to just drop in, and then just pick up a car and just
run a dude over, die,
Yeah.
and then start
Yeah.
all over.
And it's like I feel like the thing I think you don't like
Yeah.
Cold War because mainly you're more of like a Modern Warfare 2 style, where it's like
You see, with Cold War, I would have actually loved to seen it in the old version of Black Ops.
Yeah, you
with
did-
that cartoonish kind of like animation,
Yeah.
sort of, and I would have liked it better that way. And the fact that it's just so, how do I say? It's just very. It's like rubbing sandpaper.
on my balls.
Yeah, on my balls, exactly. It's just there's just something that rubs me the wrong way about the way the graphics look in Black Ops, but having the HUD of Black Ops.
What's interesting is like if I'm kind of the reverse. Like I think Modern Warfare 2 is the cartoonishy looking one,
Yeah,
and Black Ops was the more realistic.
yeah. I mean, everybody. Pretty sure the community is definitely divided on that, but
Yeah, everyone has a favorite COD.
yeah.
Especially our weird friend that thinks Advanced Warfare is the best COD.
Listen, we don't talk about crackheads on that shit. All right? Listen, that's not something we do here.
I think our record actually differs. We talk about crackheads
Yeah.
many a time on the
Oh,
podcast.
yeah.
That's one of our go-tos.
Our motto is don't talk about crackheads while simultaneously talking about
Talk
crackheads.
about the crackheads.
But anyway, yeah.
So you're just not excited about
yeah. It's just I look at it and I'm like, nah, that's called 2019 revised Black Ops version.
Is- sorry.
No. I mean, if you have any final
No.
thoughts,
No, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna start moving on to our next topic.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting talking about the new Call of Duty. Do you know when that's releasing at all?
Maybe next year.
Next year, yeah. Okay.
It's I think with the whole COVID thing, things are.
Yeah.
There's no set date for anything anymore.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, there is a set date for something. This thing that I am going to talk about that
Oh
I'm
my
actually
God.
super excited for.
Yes.
That does involve games like Call of Duty Black Ops, kind of a little bit.
A little
the
bit.
next series of GTX graphics cards. I will be playing my next series games on this graphics card.
The-
Hopefully, I'm going to be getting
The
it.
3000 series.
The 3000 series, and holy shit!
Yeah.
Let me tell you, these cards. Did you hear about them?
Yeah, I've
They're
been watching.
insane. Like, this is probably the biggest thing Nvidia has come out with in a long
Yeah,
time.
this is their big flex
Yeah,
on the.
like this is like I feel like this is the next generation 900 series.
Yeah.
When the 900 series came out,
It was a big
everybody
step.
talked about it. Yeah,
right?
like this is huge. And they have a card they released. They have the 3070, which is the base model, and I'm assuming they're gonna release cheaper, lower end models.
But what's interesting though is how this 3000 series is. I wouldn't say reasonable in price, but I mean it's not overtly.
I'm gonna say this from experience and knowing the graphics card market in the past like 5 or 6 years. This card is insane
Yeah,
because the price. It's not like it's cheap, but the price for what you're getting.
yeah. That's
If
what
you're
I'm-
buying any other card that's not the 3000 series and you plan on building a PC today, and you're not getting a 3000 card, you're wasting your money.
This is like you're behind the curve
Yeah, you're 100% playing yourself.
because I think they're what they said they're more powerful than the 2080 Ti.
Yeah, they're like,
And-
even the base model. They said something like the 3070 was as strong, if not a little less strong, than the 2080 Ti, which is I doubt it because they say stuff like that kind of a lot, but not too much. But it seems like they're very firm on it this time.
Yeah,
And I kind of believe it because it's like, even though it's underpriced and it would like all the signs are pointing to otherwise, I'm going to go with my gut feeling here and say that it definitely will be somewhere around the 2080 Ti range.
it's interesting because then it's half the price too. So you're
Yeah.
getting that same. It made basically making it obsolete.
Yeah,
like you don't.
yeah, basically. I mean, but to them, it's like they. I read something the other day. They did a survey talking about people who own the 2000 series cards, and they found out that the market share was like less than 10%.
Yeah, I'm part of that 10%.
Yeah,
I have a 2080 Super.
Oh,
graphics
really?
card. Yeah.
I did. Oh, yeah, that's right. You do. Okay, I forgot about that. I did
Yeah.
build your PC, and I completely forgot
Yeah.
that was a thing. But yeah, I mean, they're not bad cards. They're just, as of right now, the GTX 3000 series has just shown that you don't need to pay that much for that much power.
What the takeaway for me is it's cool. I think like if I would have liked to have waited
Yeah.
like for this, but I needed a computer
Yeah.
back then.
Yeah.
So it's the graphics card I got, the 2080 Super was
Yeah.
the same price, almost maybe a little cheaper as the 3000 series that's
Yeah.
coming up,
It is.
which
yeah.
is insane because
Yeah,
it's
it
way
sucks.
more powerful.
And it's the same price as the middle card.
yeah,
We're not even talking about the high end card that costs $1,500.
yeah.
Which I look at and I go, yeah, that thing should cost $1,500. That thing's a fucking beast.
It's an animal.
Yeah, it runs 8K 60, supposedly, quote unquote. I doubt it. It'll probably be like 55, 54,
Yeah.
some weird number.
So yeah, it's like I don't see it as a loss because it's like mine works fine as it is. Like
Yeah.
my computer's kind of a beast.
Yeah.
Like it can run stuff, but the knowing that I can at some point like
Yeah.
exchange and like
Yeah, yeah.
upgrade it.
But
to that,
I think the shitty thing about people like with 2000 series cards, specifically looking at you and owners that own 2000 cards, is that when I was building that PC, my thought process was, okay, well, the next gen series isn't always this huge step up.
yeah,
And unfortunately, this is a coincidence of unfortunate miscalculation
yeah,
because the release of the 3000 series causes the I guess the wantability of a 2000 card to go way down,
yeah,
like way. So selling a 2080 or a 2080 Super would probably, like, if you would have sold it before the announcement, it would have been $300-400 resell.
yeah,
Now you're looking at like $250,
yeah.
which is like, this card is killing those
It's a
cards
big hit,
resale. Yeah, and it's unfortunate, but me as somebody who wants to make the upgrade, I'm happy about it. But for somebody like
what do you have right now?
I have a 1080 Ti still. Yeah.
Oh.
And I'm kind of behind because my whole idea with 2000 was I knew it wasn't a
big
huge
step up.
jump. Yeah. And, you know, I wouldn't buy the 1080 for somebody who was just building a computer like you. I would go with the 2000. But because, you know, it was, a year?
Yeah.
A year ago?
A year ago.
It was a year ago. So you just sort of had an unfortunate time where you needed one.
Yeah.
So if you would have waited, it would have been better. But at the same time, it's like you can only wait for so long.
What's interesting is I honestly don't mind.
Yeah, I mean, you should.
Resale.
You really shouldn't. Yeah.
Because I'm more focused on the fact that like, oh, I can upgrade. At some
and a
point
lot of I think this is this card series where you're gonna see a lot of new people building PCs. You're gonna see a lot of people upgrading from 900.
I see.
10,000.
No, so like the PC building, I follow some. Like going back to Reddit because it's a place where you see a lot of different communities.
Yeah.
I see a lot more people getting into building their own PCs. Yeah. So I think these companies that are selling these parts and stuff, I think you're gonna see a boom with that.
For sure. I think that boom is definitely going to be seen in the stock market, like probably once the 3080 comes out. Because that stock will probably go up maybe $100 or so. Yeah. And it makes sense because the thing is that with the release of these cards, it's released at such a good price that people see it as like, why would I buy the next generation console? Essentially, they're kind of console killers, but at the same time, consoles, they'll always have their place.
What's funny is that for years, I think for the past 10 years, everyone's always said, oh, this is going to kill consoles. Because PC has been ahead of console for sure. Decades.
Yeah.
But there's something about having the, I don't know the word, but just having a console there accessibility is the word.
Accessibility. I think also the thing with console that attracts people that is that one it factor when it comes to building a PC or buying a console. Price. So you're paying a premium price to build a PC simply because it can do more, it can run quicker, it can run cooler sometimes.
Yeah.
And consoles, you're paying entry level price for something that kind of gets like 60% of the PC experience. You can't browse the web as efficiently. Yeah. It has web browser, but who the hell uses that?
I've tried web browser on a console.
Yeah, it's horrible. Yeah,
I don't understand why they try. Like, why is this here?
Yeah, I think
if anything, I see consoles as like the new home entertainment.
Yeah, they are. They kind of are.
Because it's like I don't see it for video games necessarily. It's like you can like DVDs.
Yeah.
And watch YouTube or streaming stuff. But I think the thing that also the main line that's keeping consoles alive is the exclusives.
Yeah, definitely.
If it weren't for exclusives, I think they would have kind of dropped off.
And that is why I'm gonna move on to the next console. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because it's like the only reason I even think about getting a PS4, PS5, Xbox is the fact that like you have games like Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, that game's gonna be awesome on PS4.
Yeah, it's like I really want to play these. It's like I don't want to buy a console, but
it's hard, and they put you in a tough spot. But that's just how it is. But I think I'm willing to always support consoles, even though I'm kind of in the ecosystem of PC master race. I still look at consoles have their place, and they should. For me, I use mine as a home entertainment system in terms of watching movies and playing video games that I can't play on my PC.
Yeah,
and that's what I love about consoles like my Switch and my PS4.
Yeah, I think they'll always have their place, but I think they may. I don't know if they can step it up to match the power that PCs have.
They can gradually, but the thing is,
on a mass scale, it's hard to do so.
Yeah, the thing with that is like they'll always be able to catch up eventually.
Yeah,
but they'll always be millions of steps behind simply because of like you can't build a PC into a console and sell it for console price. It just doesn't exist.
Yeah,
PC is always like if you want your high-end, high-level gaming, like when it comes out ready for you to use.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that's a good transition. I actually wanted to talk about the next thing coming out. Super Mario 3D All-Stars. Yeah, did you hear the announcement?
No.
It's crazy. So
Super Mario 3D All-Stars.
Super Mario 3D All-Stars.
Is that the one where they're released? Oh, wait. Okay, wait. Let me take a whack at this. I think I know what you're talking about.
Go ahead.
So is it how they're releasing the 3 generations of Mario games on the Switch for a limited time?
I think one of them is limited.
Yeah, so I think I read somewhere that they're releasing Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy
That's
all
Super
in
Mario 3D All-Stars.
Yeah, so they're all together one go. But it's why I'm curious because a lot of the backlash is that it's a limited time.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff that they had a I think it was Nintendo Direct for the Mario 35th anniversary.
Yeah.
And they said we're gonna bring all your favorite Mario classics to the Switch. The ones that people have been begging for a long time since the Switch came out.
Yeah.
And it only made sense, and only now they're getting to it. But the backlash is because they're making everything in limited time, and only some things they're not. They made a lot of things limited edition, limited time, limited whatever.
Why do you think that is? Do you think it's because they don't want a lot I
don't know. I'm assuming partly because of coronavirus, and they don't want to admit it.
How so? How would
because
that
production, they can't produce it as much as they want to. So it's
isn't it just an online thing that you?
They are releasing a couple of things that they produce, for a limited time. I think it was a mug, and then there was a gaming console.
The things, so I understand those aspects having limited time, but I mean, if you're putting let's say a file, a file on whatever, and the Nintendo store, why would you make that for a limited time for people to?
I think their thought process might be. I'm not a CFO or anything.
Yeah, you're not in the inner workings.
I'm not in the loop, exactly. Yeah, I'm not sucking anybody off right now. Next year maybe, but I think their thought process might be because they want money now. They want that spike in cash right now. So what's the best way to do it? Offer something that people have been wanting for years, and say, guess what? You can only order it for a week, a day, a month, whatever it is, so that everybody has to spend their money right then and there to get it, or else
would you find that like a scummy tactic?
I mean, it's shitty, but at the same time, it's like, me personally, I'm like whatever about it, because it's like I'm gonna buy it no matter what.
Yeah.
But in the end, it's like, why would you do that? It doesn't make sense.
Well, to me, Nintendo has not been. They're innovative in certain aspects, like their consoles.
Yeah.
But in the grand scheme of things, I think, like I said in an earlier podcast, I don't think Nintendo's a big innovator. I think they've found a place to be comfortable, and they're just glad to be complacent within that.
I mean, that's why I think I'm looking very much forward to their next console release next year. It's looking like it's going to be the Switch Pro, which I'm looking at that and going, I hope they do something that really pushes the ballot. Because
I don't think they will.
The thing is, they have a lot of places to go with it, because they have the power to keep up, but they're just not doing it. They're just releasing Mario every year.
I think that's the thing that I pointed out in one of the first podcasts.
I remember. Yeah.
Is they like to just keep the IPs they have, and push them for years and years.
Because the thing is, I think I said this in the last one too, is that they're marketing towards kids, which I get, but at the same time, me as a fan, as an adult, I still think, well, shit, I want something new. Yeah. And it does suck, but in the end, Nintendo makes money off of it.
But it's like, how long is Mario going to be a viable IP to just keep?
I think this might be towards the end of it. This might be that sort of jumping off point where everybody goes, okay, Mario's not enough anymore.
Because I think they keep releasing new Mario games. Each one, I'm thinking, oh, cool, he has a flying hat.
Yeah.
What now?
And that's why people got so hype over Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
It's because it was
that's
amazing.
Something where it's like, okay, now you have an open world.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay.
And they never made anything near that level since then, which is so odd.
what I think the best way to describe Nintendo is they make a huge leap, and after that they just take little baby steps and the huge leap.
Yeah.
While as other companies they take these big leap, maybe a step back, big leap.
Yeah. Whereas I think Nintendo, it's like they run into the money and they just get this feeling of like, okay, we'll just.
I guess they're more pragmatic. They don't like to take risks.
Yeah.
Which is I don't like because it's not.
I mean, maybe it's a good thing in the year of coronavirus. But
yeah. But I mean, what do you think of this? Like the 3D All Stars coming out.
I think I'm definitely gonna buy it. And I haven't played those games.
Were you a fan of the old school Mario?
Never. No. I only liked Mario Odyssey. I was never really a Mario fanboy.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's cool. Not that interesting. It's cool, though. But I think with the release of 3D All-Stars, it gives people like me a chance to invest myself into something that I never would have otherwise.
Yeah.
Like, I never would have gone back and bought a Nintendo 64 just to play those games. But now that it's coming out on Switch, I have an interest.
See, when I grew up on the 64 and the Super Nintendo.
So did I, but I mean, even then, I never bought it.
I played Mario Kart 64. I had Mario.
That's the jam.
Yeah, I had Mario or Super Mario on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
So I grew up with Mario. In that context, Mario was really fun back then.
Yeah.
But you don't have that same feeling anymore. I don't think younger kids would have that.
Yeah.
I think they find their thing with like Fortnite and
it's very like not so much kiddish. Like it's still kiddish in the terms of everything's a cartoon.
Yeah, it's kid oriented, it's kid focused, but it doesn't appeal to them anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like kids, they're just sort of growing up on this idea like my parent is an adult and they like these adult things and they're unknowingly pushing their adult things onto me, and then I'm going to do the same with my child.
I don't think it's that. I think it's the fact that you have different things catching their eyes now.
I guess.
So when we had Mario, that's what we turned to.
Yeah.
But I think they have like everything.
Yeah.
You know, when you have different avenues to take, why are you going to sit there and play Super Mario?
Yeah. I mean, that's interesting though, because like I would hope my child, when I have a child, they will
Mario. Like Mario. Kids would like it. Just depends what what they play. You know.
Yeah.
Because
I'm gonna definitely try to get my child into hentai. Thank you all. That was the podcast. But anyway,
I saw that look in your little twinkle in your eyes.
The look of the devil in my eyes. Yeah. I wanted to touch on something really quickly, because we are reaching the end here.
The climax.
Yeah, I'm climaxing, so anybody that's listening, please.
No, right now we've edged this whole time.
Yeah, I've been edging. I'm this close to climax. You can't see me holding it up, but I'm this close.
We've been edging the audience this whole time.
Yeah.
And now, once we reach the climax, we have to give them that big...
perfect transition. Just like the audience in the crowd when this happened.
Yes.
Edging.
Yeah.
We were edging this audience the whole time.
Yes.
Edge's Royal Rumble return.
Woo!
No, I've been wanting to talk about this because I feel like I feel like it is a good kind of, I guess, exit topic here. Good quick little thing to talk about. Me and you both love wrestling, of course.
So as a kid, I used to watch it.
Yeah.
But I think ever since like adolescence, more of like a falling out.
Yeah.
Like
I know what you mean.
Coming like I look and it's like, oh, this is interesting.
Yeah, you come back every once in a while. It's like, I don't know who these people are, but that dude needs to kick that guy's ass.
It's just so boring, and it's so nothing's entertaining.
Yeah, especially now in the year of 2020 coronavirus, like there's just silence.
Yeah, you take the audience away too.
Yeah, and it just takes away so much of the mystique.
If I like from my perspective, it's just kind of sad to look at.
Yeah, during the
and
time
it's
of corona.
I'm good.
Yeah, but I think this is the one shining star in all of that. Edge.
The rated R.
Yeah,
superstar.
the rated R superstar. I want to start with his Royal Rumble return. I think a lot of people are pushing that back and saying that it's not the greatest. What do you think?
I think it had even for someone that hasn't watched in a while, that's something that makes you go, holy shit.
It's got that something about it that you feel like hasn't been there since 2008, John Cena's Royal Rumble return.
I think there were a few, like...
I mean, Brock Lesnar's return was big, but it was
did
nowhere
you
near
see,
that
I think,
level.
AJ Styles?
Yeah, AJ Styles, I remember seeing AJ Styles. That was big. That was crazy. But, like, I don't think I've ever heard an audience as loud as Edge's Royal Rumble return. That was crazy.
You have to watch back on AJ Styles, because that audience was loud as hell. Probably the loudest I think I've heard. Like,
okay.
That was loud, and then Edge maybe like a second where it's like, oh.
Yeah. I think, me personally, I still have Edge as the greatest return in WWE history, in my opinion.
Okay, what about Daniel Bryan?
Daniel Bryan, it's like, yeah, he returned. Yeah, he was great, but it's like, I mean, everybody had this feeling deep down like he was.
Wait, let me let the audience so
inform them.
Buckle up, because we're getting sweaty over some sweaty wrestlers right now.
Yeah, wrestling.
So, I think it's always interesting when someone gets injured and they say that they can't return.
Yeah.
And then they find out that they can.
Yeah.
And they return, and then everyone's like, "Oh my god."
Yeah.
But we never thought we'd see you again.
And I think, as far to my knowledge, I don't think there were any reports of Edge ever coming back.
Nope.
And Daniel Bryan, there was like, oh, he's gonna come back maybe. And, the doctors are saying he's cleared, and then one day it's like, oh, he's cleared. He's gonna wrestle one day. And it's like, oh, okay, well, fuck, like, okay, am I supposed to be surprised that he's gonna come back one day? No.
Yeah.
He's obviously gonna come back one day, and that's what made Edge's like. And that's what made Edge, AJ Styles, John Cena, these returns, that's what made them so crazy, is because it's like, the hint of AJ Styles was he's a free agent. WWE's going to sign him, hopefully. Yeah. And then they did. And it was a surprise.
No, I don't think anyone that comes in like that is a free agent. I think they're already, like, signed in.
Yeah. No, I do remember that it was, like, what, a month before the Rumble? He was...
Yeah, he was a free agent.
Yeah. And then
I think
I don't exactly remember the details, but those are the moments that are the best. Where it's like Daniel Bryan, yeah, he's probably one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, but in the end, his return was spoiled. That's what made Edge so insane, because it's like you're watching this Rumble happen, and you're not you're seeing Shelton Benjamin. You're seeing people come back one after another. There were a bunch. I can't remember. MVP.
Who is that again?
His name was Montel Vontavious Porter.
I don't remember.
he wore this like singlet. He said MVP. He did the "I'm coming." I don't know.
I don't remember that.
But he was around the peak of
like mid 2000s.
Mr. Kennedy.
Yeah.
He was like one of those guys.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
He was just one of those characters that were there around that era.
Okay.
But all of these people were coming back, and I'm thinking like, whoa, this is crazy. Like all the people that I loved watching growing up. And then John Morrison came back.
Do you think that's like a nostalgic factor?
Yeah.
Where it makes it that much important, because it's like, okay, it's someone that you related to before, and now they come back, and it's like, oh my god,
my
definitely. Childhood.
Yeah, because it's like, you don't walk into a room not knowing anybody and then fall in love with them all immediately. You walk in, you see one person that you know, and then you get to know everybody else, and it's just that much easier.
Yeah.
And the thing is, there was, up until the entrance of Edge, I don't think anybody once expected him to be the next guy up. So when he did come, it was loud. Yeah, it was complete silence. And then people were like, oh, what's going on? Who's next? And then his music plays. And then I remember seeing this, and I thought to myself, there's no fucking way. Edge stopped wrestling in 2009.
I thought it was 2010.
2010, whatever. It was a decade. It was a whole decade.
Yeah.
And he came back, and a part of me felt like I just only cared about this character all over again, because even though John Cena was still kind of around here and there, I never really cared. Yeah. And it's like you bring someone like Edge back, and then it reignites something in you. And his storyline up until now has just been flawless. Have you kept up with it a little?
Not really.
like it's a masterpiece.
What's it about?
So he returned in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
That was amazing. He got eliminated, which was perfect. We don't want him to win the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, you ain't gonna win.
Yeah, I mean, it's like he just came back, and it made sense with the story, and then Drew McIntyre wins the Royal Rumble, which everybody wanted, which I'm like, this is good.
Yeah.
I like this outcome. I enjoyed that Edge didn't win it.
Yeah.
And he returned on the Raw after Rumble, and he gave like a speech saying how he was very happy to come back, and who else but the man himself, music goes off, Randy Orton. He comes into the ring. He starts talking to Edge, like, you know, they used to have rated RKO. That used to be a thing. They used to be buddies. He was talking to him like he was his best friend, and then boom, turn.
Of course.
And now Edge is a face, and Randy is this heel. And they did a kind of crazy stunt where he concertoed Edge.
Well, what is a concerto for?
For anyone that doesn't know,
the layman term.
Yeah, the layman's terms is so he put Edge's head on a chair on one side of his head, and then he smashed the other side with a chair that he was swinging, and which is very dangerous because Edge, he had just spent a decade away from wrestling because of a neck injury.
So it's like a sick way of like...
yeah, which I looked at it and I was like, that's insane. Like, that's so dangerous. And they pulled it off flawlessly because it's like the emotion was there. The investment was there. It's like everybody who was there watching Edge give this speech knew it's like, we need to make sure this man is safe and healthy because he's a terrific wrestler and he's like 40-something and he's still amazing. And... He did that stunt and the crowd just went like silent. Nobody knew what to say. Like it was oh my god, no, hit that man with the chair.
No hunty,
no. But I thought it was amazing. Like afterwards I was thinking, I was like, that was kind of like awesome.
So that's interesting. That's interesting because I don't think you see stuff like that nowadays.
Which is
from my limited scope of what wrestling has become. It's like all flips.
Very PG.
Not PG. It's like it's more focused on flips and
athletic
stunts and like just like a wow factor. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, instead of like how it used to be back in the
instead of like a drama. I guess with the new show.
Yeah, for sure.
And I guess what you're saying is these guys are.
They really put. I feel like they're the beating heart in what I feel like could be the very end of old school wrestling, and that's kind of sad to say, but they're killing it. Honestly, they're killing it.
So it's still going on.
Yeah, it's still going on. The storyline is still going on. I don't know if they've wrestled because then their whole idea was to put Edge quote unquote out of action for a little while, so that I guess he could just use that time to rest up, make sure he's healthy,
do his thing.
Yeah, do his thing because they don't want to overuse the guy. Yeah. Dude just came back, and which is good. And they've had some developments here and there. And as far as I know, Edge and Orton were supposed to have a Rumble match before everything blew up. But I don't know if that's still going to happen. I don't know what's happening with that. Because I don't know if they're even having Royal Rumble this year. I don't know what's going on.
That's a lot of dudes in one ring. Like
yes, that is.
But I mean, during COVID,
no, take your time.
I'm thinking during COVID, that's very dangerous.
Yeah, it is dangerous, and that's why I think I'm not too sure if they're gonna have that, which is interesting.
See, what's funny is I want to diverge a little because it's the topic of wrestling in WWE. There's an interesting story that came out with Vince McMahon limiting what his contracted wrestlers can do.
Okay.
Like they can't have a Twitch. They can't promote other things.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's like a way of him kind of controlling his workers.
Because he wants to keep that sort of like, I guess like veil of mystery around his characters, quote unquote.
But it's like a kind of hypocritical because then he keeps them as quote independent contractors.
Yeah.
Which in turn makes them not have health care. He doesn't have to pay for it's basically just paying them like for each thing. But it's funny how you can control someone when they're an independent contractor,
Yeah.
while at the same time not giving him benefits or anything. Would you say
I mean,
that's
we've been knew he's a shitty boss. That's the thing. We've been knew. It's like we've known it since he became the heel of the WWE. He's just not. He's about making money, and he's about how much money is in his bank account. I don't think he really cares about the safety. I mean, if he cared about the safety of his wrestlers, something would have happened when Bret Hart died.
you mean Owen Hart?
Owen Hart, yes, sorry.
Yeah, I was like, wait, when did he die?
Yeah, no, it's Owen Hart.
What did he do? What did he do to him to kill
Too
him?
much cocaine, dude. Too much cocaine. But yeah, I mean that he died and nothing like.
Listen,
it's like
all you
the
gotta
WWE
do-
world changed.
All you gotta do, have all the wrestlers stand on the little entranceway,
There we go.
have the little picture on the screen,
Yeah.
ring the bell a few times.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, let's get ready for the show.
What a
fu-
Chris Benoit situation.
If you really think about it, like thinking the culture of wrestling itself
Yeah.
is such a toxic culture.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's such a bad environment. Like I feel bad for anyone that has a dream that's like, I want to do this. I want to be
Yeah.
like them. And they get into it and it's like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, like I hate my life. Which is,
Well,
I feel
this-
bad
like,
for
God.
Dominic Mysterio. You heard about him?
Oh, is that Mysterio? Is that like,
Mysterio's son.
oh,
Rey Mysterio's son. He just started. I think it was like a week or two ago. He just wrestled his first ever match.
really?
Yeah.
With who?
Dude's like fucking like I think he's like 22.
Really?
Dude's almost our age. Yeah.
Wow.
I was so surprised. I was like, oh my god, that guy's. I remember seeing him like, oh, who's this little kid? Like,
Yeah.
and now I was like, whoa, that is
No,
huge.
the funniest one I remember is when I bought a DVD,
Yeah.
SummerSlam or whatever, and then
Yeah.
it was Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero
Yeah. The
like,
classic
fighting over the custody of a child,
Custody of a child.
and Eddie's just like, it's like, Dominic,
Oh,
I'm your
God.
poppy now.
I'm
It's
your
like,
papi.
it's like you look back and you don't realize how fucked up that situation actually is.
Because
Until,
it's like we're kind of teenagers, children, sort of, and
I
we
was
don't
a
really
kid
understand.
then. I'm like,
yeah.
I'm looking like, oh, why is he fighting? Why are
what
they
the hell's
fighting?
going on? Why
It's-
are they fighting
it's-
over a child?
It seemed like something that could happen as a kid.
yeah.
But you look back and it's like, holy crap, that's like
It's so cringy.
on
yeah.
the verge of abuse.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, with all that happening, what do you think? Final thought, and then
Yeah, we're
Yeah, we're-
looking to wrap it up.
yeah. But this is final thought. What do you think is gonna happen in terms of wrestling? Because I think public perception has always been that it's like a either redneck thing or like it's like a
Yeah.
nerdy thing.
Yeah.
People don't. If you like, people think if you watch it, it's kind of like they look down on you, like
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
yeah, like a weird niche.
Yeah, yeah. Which I kind of get, but it's annoying.
yeah.
Like it's like I was a WWE fan, and I know how that feels. I think the direction the WWE is headed,
Or not just them, just wrestling as a whole. Do you think
wrestling
it's
as a whole,
do you think it's gonna die off at some point?
I think it's gonna die off soon.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's almost coming to an end, simply because it seems like Vince McMahon is sort of coming away from WWE a lot recently.
Yeah.
And it kind of feels like with him gone, it almost seems like there's no strive to keep it going. Like it almost seems like there's like a weird mutual like thing that everybody feels like nobody wants the WWE around anymore, and it's not as big as it used to be, so nobody cares.
It's like an old dog that's like you just look at it and it limps around. And it's
yeah,
like, God,
yeah.
I really want to put that dog down because I feel so bad.
Because
for it.
9 times out of 10, the entertainment in the WWE just isn't good. It's just not.
To me, it was
stays
any entertainment with wrestling in general is like
reused, old.
because it's either they're still trying to make it seem real, or you go to
Yeah.
the opposite
Yeah.
extreme where guys, look at us, we're fake, but look at us do
Yeah,
funny
yeah.
flips. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'd rather be watching anything that's entertaining
Yeah,
than
yeah. That's why I think maybe in the next 5 years WWE won't be around, and I think that's only because coronavirus has really shown a very disgusting light on the WWE that when an arena doesn't have fans, it makes the show that much worse. by a wide mile.
Yeah.
And it's just so hard to, like, I remember watching like 2 or 3 minute clips of them, and it was just so difficult. Like, there was just something about it that just hurt to watch.
Yeah.
And it's just so hard, and that's why I think the coronavirus is sort of killing things off very quickly than you would have thought. And WWE is a bystander of that.
Yeah. So I mean, it's interesting to see. Why do you think it was so big before? Why do you think people, like, you see back in like the 70s up to the 90s, why it was like, I mean, it was part of like pop culture basically. But and then you look, I mean, more in the modern day, everyone looks at it's like wrestling.
Yeah, because I think back in the 90s, early 2000s, people were still looking for that, like, that something, that story, that fakeness, that sort of, like, it's not, I guess, fairy tale to look at and hope to be real. But I feel like as the years go on, it's harder and harder to preserve something like that.
Do you think people are just so nihilistic now, or just
definitely.
They're more pessimistic, and they think like if it's fake and stuff like that, then I don't like. People want real stuff.
Yeah, I feel like The Office is a good example of this. People started watching more shows like Parks and Rec, like The Office, because laugh tracks they didn't have a place anymore.
Yeah.
That's why I think WWE...
The mockumentary style, right? Where it's like it's just following...
Yeah. And that's why I think that WWE is just one of those things. Like, the UFC is coming up. Real, like, sports are starting to get better and better as the years go on. New sports are coming out. Esports, blah, blah, blah. These things are coming
It's
out.
interesting to see if that's like a little aspect, or like what's a symptom of like a postmodern condition.
Maybe.
Like people now, the more postmodern you get, the more people don't want fake. They just want things that they want things to feel real.
Yeah.
Which is like, I don't know, it's an interesting thing to leave off on.
I think I'm subscribed to the theory that whatever comes around goes around. So eventually, stuff that isn't so nihilistic will go away eventually, and then like things like WWE are going to thrive again, and that's always interesting to see.
Yeah, it's funny because it reminds me of another mockumentary style show, Trailer Park Boys. Have you watched it?
No, I've never seen it. No.
So this one character, Ricky, he's very illiterate.
Yeah.
Doesn't say anything right, and he said that same quote you said. It just reminded me. It's like listen, what's all around comes around.
Okay. I like this guy.
It's just, I think you're right. Like, I think things are cyclical.
Yeah.
Like if something leaves, something takes its place, but then it'll come back eventually, and then
for sure. And
until we experience heat death in the universe, and
next year,
yeah,
I'm predicting it right here, folks. Thank you all so much for listening to the podcast.
Yeah,
I hope you enjoyed this hour-long just
bonanza.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
I like bananas. You like bananas. We all like bananas.
Yeah.
Next week we will be doing a 1 hour long podcast on the history of the banana. So tune in for that.
We've we've done our extensive research. So be prepared.
Yes.
This is going to be long, educational, and informative.
Yeah. He said that very angrily. He's punching something right now, which is
because damn it, this is what we need to talk about.
Well, thank you all so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this hour with your two favorite co-hosts on the greatest podcast show ever.
Of all time.
Of all time. Please do not look that up anywhere. I swear.
Just take our word for it.
Take our word for it. Thank you so much. And, well, goodbye.
Goodbye.